All right, grüezi, and welcome back to another episode of my Vibecode Diaries. So instead of showing just step by step what I've been building so far, which I've done until now, I want to take a bit a step forward and go directly in what I'm learning right now because I think it's very important, and I also think you could learn it with me because that's the whole point of this whole thing. And that is building an agent, right? So we have Lovable, we had like Claude Boat, we have Claude Code, and other projects that where you have like sort of semi-programmable agent-ish automation sort of stuff. And they're getting better and better. And but still, building an AI in most cases they're really bad because they're language models. They have way too much access. Like there's not enough guidelines and guardrails. And so if you just integrate AI into your, I did air quotes. Oh my god, I'm getting old. Yeah. If you just integrate AI into your company, there's a high chance that you will have a risk problem at some point, like people accessing things they shouldn't. Like stuff gets deleted. Like there are more people trying to integrate AI than actually use cases where AI makes sense. Like you can't just jump from a bad Excel process to an AI that's still a bad process. It's just more intelligent. Like you need first to digitalize the process and improve it, and then build on top of it. And there's many ways to do that. And an agentic model is probably the best way to have it contained for one specific use case that is solving one specific pain. And if you have built 15 or so different agents, then you can start combining them and build on top of this architecture. So agents are one way, and I think a good way, but you really have to understand them first. And that's why we're doing this here, right? So I want to give you a bit introduction just into the platform because while I'm learning it, basically, a bit an overview of what you can do with it and why I think it's actually quite great, plus a few thoughts on the whole Google ecosystem. All right, so I'm here in Google Cloud. I just searched for agent platform, and then you find it the agent platform. Previously, it was called the Vertex AI, which is quite interesting because you had the AI and then agents were a part of it. And right now, this sort of hierarchy inverted, right? You have the agent platform, and this is sort of the overarching thing for all things that is machine learning features, which I think is a very interesting approach because, what if big data, big query sort of use cases become more popular in the future? Do you then rebrand it again? Because agents is just one part of machine learning and AI, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't understand Google at this point, but it's an interesting choice to really go into all in into agents. But we will see. Maybe they have like more specific use cases in the future, and then you really only have agents here, and like all the other AI cases will be separate tools entirely. Who knows? Anyway, so I'm here in the Google Cloud Console. I searched for agent platform, and you get this. And it's rather straightforward. So when you enter here, you have like this whole dashboard. Good for you to know is on the bottom left tutorials. The tutorials are really good. I'm like, take your time and go through them. I am going through a few of them right now to learn things, and they help a lot because, especially as a no coder, like it just makes sense if someone explains this stuff to you because reading through the documentation is sometimes rough, at least for me. So the first that we have here, top left, is the studio. This is where you can prompt the agent, which is an amazing tool because it integrates so flawlessly with anti-gravity and the other Google things. You can literally ask it what it should do, and it starts building the agent for you. And then you give it the API keys, and it runs. And that's, in my opinion, that is amazing because it's exactly what I need. It's no code or absolutely low code, depending on what you're building. And you can do this basically prompted. So you don't need a lot of tech understanding. You need to understand more architecture, which is amazing, right? What is quite interesting, like here we have the models. I will not go too much into this. Like the model garden is probably interesting because here you have more the pre-built agents and templates that you can find here, right? What is more more important. What is more interesting is the agents section. I think is also where the main focus here lies. It's a bit different than Vertex AI, but a lot of the things are the same. Let me just click into that because my Wi-Fi is really slow at the moment. I'm not quite sure why. Right, so the first is the agent garden. As I said, this is where you have pre-built agents, you have templates, which is quite cool. You can just directly use them and go nuts with it. The next step is the ADK. So this is the agent development kit. And the agent development kit is more the framework, and I think it's pretty model agnostic actually. So you can build the agents programmatically. So if you're a coder and you have a better understanding than us low-life no coders, you could actually build it by yourself. The next in line is the MCP servers. So the managed model context protocol servers, they are basically the API registry where you can connect your agents to external APIs, right? Yeah, they're also revamping this, so we'll see how this will look like. We got the RAG engine here and also the vector search and the general search. These are just 3 distinct frameworks, like a retrieval augmented generation solution, they call it. Depending, they have like different infrastructure and control that they offer. So if you have to go a bit into this, like context augmentation occurs when you apply an LLM to your data, right? This implements retrieval augmented generation, which is RAG. This is basically what it will work quite a lot because you have to give the agent context, right? And databases to work with. So you will work with the RAG engines or with vector search quite a bit. When you're going to scale, this is one of my more favorite things because here you can see the whole agent runtime, and it looks exactly like Cloud Run, which I really like, and I understood when I looked at it. So that is quite cool. There's actually also an explanation up here. It really makes it useless that I give an introduction, right? All right, so the memory bank and sessions are basically the session is the individual interaction that you have with the agent, and the memory bank is then a synthesized context of the sessions that you have across multiple sessions. So you have basically a user history, right? That's then the memory bank. So this is very cool because this will I'll be using this for my users to build sort of like their own knowledge data hub for verification of facts, for instance. The next part is governing. The govern part you have the agents registry, like you track the versions of deployed agents that you currently have. You have the policies. This is, I think, a new feature where you can have the explicit compliance and risk mitigation rules. This, I think, will be a game changer for many, many companies because, for instance, if you have a user in your company that is asking your agent something, and your agent has access to every document in the company, this specific user might not be or should not be able to like see private data about your, I don't know, management, for instance, or in HR, right, or like sensitive other data. And with this, you could like make policies, you can make business policies. So this is very cool. You have like identity aware proxy, right, and can really control the agents. That's quite cool. The gateways is, more like the connectivity between agents and the tool that they have access. It's like more the environment. And we also have a security part. This is more like, for instance, like regarding your cryptographic ID. You can have real-time threat scanning and this sort of stuff. I haven't set this up here because I frankly have not yet get to this part, I guess. The last part is optimize. And here we have a topology and evaluation. The topology is basically a visual map of how the agents and all the connected things are interconnected with each other. So you can like let it represent that, which I think will be very, very useful down the line when you make a bit more complex agents or have multiple agents working together. And the last one is evaluation. This is more like, this allows you the testing of your agents. It says like run off evaluations to assess the quality for agents. So you can, for instance, like score live traffic, you can debug your LLM reasoning paths, and you have like synthetic users that you could use here to simulate a use case. So this is going to be more like once you have built the whole thing, that's why it's under optimize. So I think this setup makes, to me at least, it makes a lot of sense. So I really like that. And I'm really excited to see like where Google is taking this. So if you want to get started, I can definitely highly recommend that you just go into your Google Cloud platform, search for the agents, and then just start playing around with a new agent. Just go to the studio, prompt one, and then like, start seeing what's happening. Do this as long as the tokens have not yet, or the token cost has not yet skyrocketed, because this will come and this will be very expensive. So expensive that I might, just read documentaries and not build anymore. Anyway, thanks a ton for watching. It was fun. It's super hot. I have to get out. I'm dying. All right, see you around, and bye.